Hi, everybody. Welcome to Reading Corner. I hope that you're having a really good day wherever you are. Here, where we are in Melbourne right now, the sun is finally shining. It's springtime. And do you know what you do in springtime? We do spring cleaning. So, yesterday, my son and I went outside and with the hose and some brushes and rags and everything, we cleaned all the outside of the windows around our house, which made them look sparkly clean on the outside. But when we came inside and looked at the windows and saw that the inside of the windows was really dirty, so our job is not quite finished. Do you do spring cleaning where you are? Maybe the cleaning that you do might just be putting your clothes away or packing up your toys or helping your mum or dad sweep. Whatever it is, I hope that you have fun. And I really hope that if the sun is shining wherever you are, you get to go outside and enjoy that sunshine. But in the meantime, while you're here with me, let's read some stories. I have some really lovely stories for you today. We have One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish by Dr. Seuss, which is a lot of fun. And then we have The Potato People by Pamela Allen, which is just a gorgeous story. I know you're going to love it. And then finally, we have a very old classic fairy tale called The Elves and the Shoemaker. So let's get started. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. And it's all about wonderful and interesting and crazy creatures. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. Black fish, blue fish, old fish, new fish. This one has a little star. This one has a little car. Say, what a lot of fish there are. Yes, some are red and some are blue. Some are old and some are new. Some are sad and some are glad. And some are very, very bad. Why are they sad and glad and bad? I do not know. Go ask your dad. Some are thin and some are fat. The fat one has a yellow hat. From there to here and here to there, funny things are everywhere. Here are some who like to run. They run for fun in the hot, hot sun. Oh me, oh my. Oh me, oh my, what a lot of funny things go by. Some have 2 feet and some have 4. Some have 6 feet and some have more. Where do they come from? I can't say, but I bet they've come a long, long way. We see them come, we see them go. Some are fast and some are slow. Some are high and some are low. Not one of them is like another. Don't ask us why. Go ask your mother. Say, look at his fingers. 1, 2, 3. How many fingers do I see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He has 11. 11. This is something new. I wish I had 11 too. Bump, bump, bump. Did you ever ride a wump? We have a wump with just 1 hump. But we know a man called Mr. Gump. Mr. Gump has a 7-hump wump. So if you like to go bump, bump, just jump on the hump of the wump of Gump. Who am I? My name is Ned. I do not like my little bed. This is no good. This is not right. My feet stick out of bed all night. And when I pull them in, oh dear, my head sticks out of bed up here. We like our bike. It is made for three. Our Mike sits up in back, you see. We like our Mike, and this is why Mike does all the work when the hills get high. Hello there, Ned. How do you do? Tell me what is new? How are things in your little bed? What is new? Please tell me, Ned. I do not like this bed at all. A lot of things have come to call. A cow, a dog, a cat, a mouse. Oh, what a bed. Oh, what a house. Oh dear, I cannot hear. Will you please come over near? Will you please look in my ear? There must be something there, I fear. Say, look, a bird was in your ear, but he is out, so have no fear. Again your ear can hear, my dear. My hat is old, my teeth are gold. I have a bird I like to hold. My shoe is off, my foot is cold. My shoe is off, my foot is cold. I have a bird I like to hold. My hat is old, my teeth are gold, and now my story is all told. We took a look. We saw a nook. On his head, he had a hook. On his hook, he had a book. On his book was How to Cook. We saw him sit and try to cook. He took a look at the book on his hook. But a nook can't read, so a nook can't cook. So what good to a nook is a hook, cook, book? The moon was out and we saw some sheep. We saw some sheep take a walk in their sleep. By the light of the moon, by the light of a star, they walked all night from near to far. I would never walk, I would take a car. I do not like this one so well. All he does is yell, yell, yell. I will not have this one about. When he comes in, I put him out. This one is quiet as a mouse. I like to have him in the house. At our house, we open cans. We have to open many cans, and that is why we have a Zans. A Zans for cans is very good. Have you a Zans for cans? You should. I like to box. How I like to box. So every day I box a box. In yellow socks, I box my gocks. I box in yellow gocks, box socks. It is fun to sing if you sing with a ying. My ying can sing like anything. I sing high and my ying sings low. And we are not too bad, you know. This one, I think, is called a yink. He likes to wink. He likes to drink. He likes to drink and drink and drink. The thing he likes to drink is ink. The ink he likes to drink is pink. He likes to wink and drink pink ink. So if you have a lot of ink, then you should get a yink, I think. Hop, hop, hop. I am a yop. All I like to do is hop from finger top to finger top. I hop from left to right and then hop, hop. I hop right back again. I like to hop all day and night from right to left and left to right. Why do I like to hop, hop, hop? I do not know. Who else yop hop? Brush, 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 brush. Comb, 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 comb. Blue hair is fun to brush and comb. All children who like to brush and comb should have a pet like this at home. Who is this pet? Say, he is wet. You never yet met a pet, I bet, as wet as they let this wet pet get. Did you ever fly a kite in bed? Did you ever walk with 10 cats on your head? Did you ever milk this kind of cow? Well, we can do it. We know how. If you never did, you should. These things are fun and fun is good. Hello? Hello, are you there? Hello? I called you up to say hello. I said hello. Can you hear me, Joe? Oh no, I cannot hear your call. I cannot hear your call at all. This is not good and I know why. A mouse has cut the wire. Goodbye. From near to far, from here to there, funny things are everywhere. These yellow pets are called the Zeds. They have one hair up on their heads. Their hair grows fast, so fast, they say, they need a haircut every day. Who am I? My name is Ish. On my hand, I have a dish. I have this dish to help me wish. When I wish to make a wish, I wave my hand with a big swish, swish. And then I say, I wish for fish. And I get fish right on my dish. So if you wish to wish a wish, you may swish for fish with my ish, wish, dish. At our house, we play out back. We play a game called Ring the Gack. Would you like to play this game? Come down. We have the only gack in town. Look what we found in the park in the dark. We will take him home. We will call him Clark. He will live at our house. He will grow and grow. Will our mother like this? We don't know. And now, good night. It is time to sleep. So we will sleep with our pet Zeep. Today is gone. Today was fun. Tomorrow is another one. Every day, from here to there, funny things are everywhere. The end. I hope you enjoyed that one. I wonder if you have interesting pets at your house. I have 2 little dogs, which sounds a bit normal, but my dogs are pretty crazy, so it gets very interesting from time to time. But while you're thinking about your pets, we might go to see Jack and Grandma, who make their own little pets or their own little people called the potato people. Let's read their story. Every Friday, Jack's mother works. Every Friday, Jack spends the day with Grandma. This is Grandma's house. They play hide and seek. They romp roly-poly on the ground. They read stories and they eat cake. One Friday, the clouds were big and black and the rain dribbled down the window panes and rattled on the tin roof. It's raining, sighed Jack. I know, said Grandma. And she went to the cupboard and brought out a big box. Inside the box were 4 potatoes. I'm going to make a little potato man, said Jack. I'm going to make a little potato woman, said Grandma. And they did. Grandma placed them carefully on the windowsill. There, said Grandma. There, said Jack. They look pleased with each other, said Grandma. We're pleased with each other too, said Jack. But you can see there that they made their potato people with wool and potatoes and fabric, bottle tops and toothpicks and pins with knobs. Then one day, Jack and his mother had to go away for a while. That Friday, Jack didn't come. He didn't come the Friday after that, or the Friday after that. Lots of Fridays went by, and still Jack didn't come to visit Grandma. Gradually, the little potato people wrinkled and withered. Gradually, their smiles drooped and twisted. Now Grandma called them the little old potato man and the little old potato woman. She looked at herself in the mirror. I'm just like them, thought Grandma, and she sat down and she sighed. Then one day, a stalk sprouted on the head of the little old man. He's growing horns, thought Grandma. Then a stalk sprouted on the head of the little old woman. She's growing horns too, thought Grandma. The horns grew and grew. At last, Grandma could bear it no longer. She said goodbye to the little old potato man and the little old potato woman, and she buried them outside in the compost heap. But Jack didn't know, because Jack wasn't there. Soon, a shoot appeared above the ground, then another and another. Up they grew, up they grew, until they were so high that Grandma couldn't see over the top. Tambourines and treacle tarts, exclaimed Grandma. At last, one Friday, when the clouds were big and black and the rain dribbled down the window panes and rattled on the tin roof, there was a knock at the door. Jack, gasped Grandma, and they hugged and hugged. They played hide and seek. They romped roly-poly on the ground. They read stories and they ate cake. Grandma, asked Jack, what happened to our little potato people? I buried them outside in the compost heap, said Grandma, and they grew and grew. Let's go and look, said Jack. So they put on their raincoats, pulled on their gumboots, and went out in the rain to see. But all they could see were the stalks, now brown and dead, lying on top of the ground. So Grandma fetched a big fork and Jack fetched a little fork, and they dug and they dug. First, Grandma found one potato, then Jack found two potatoes. One potato, two potatoes, three potatoes, four, 5 potatoes, 6 potatoes, 7 potatoes more, sang Grandma. They found big potatoes and they found little potatoes. Soon there were hundreds and hundreds of potatoes. Tambourines and treacle tarts, exclaimed Grandma. When there were no more potatoes left to dig, they hung up their forks, they took off their raincoats, they put away their gumboots, and they washed their hands, and Grandma dried her hair. Grandma, said Jack. Yes, said Grandma. Let's make a little potato man and a little potato woman. And they did. Have you ever had potatoes grow horns in your cupboard? I definitely have. And did you know that if you plant them in your garden or your compost heap, they will grow and grow and grow, and they send up shoots above the ground, and then when the shoots all go brown and flop back down, if you dig, you'll find more potatoes. It's lots of fun. Now we're going to read our last story, which is a bit different. But I think you'll enjoy it because it's a very, as I said, it's a very old, very classic fairy tale called The Elves and the Shoemaker. Once upon a time, there was a kind shoemaker. Though he worked very hard, he grew poorer and poorer. At last, he had only enough leather left to make one more pair of shoes. One winter night, he cut the leather out for the shoes, but he was too tired to go any further. He left the leather on his workbench and decided to stitch the shoes together the next morning. The shoemaker went to bed not knowing what he and his wife would do once the leather was used up. They had no money to buy more. Despite their troubles, the shoemaker and his wife slept soundly that night. Early the next morning, the shoemaker woke up and got dressed. Then he went into the shop to make the last pair of shoes. Once he sat down at his workbench, the shoemaker thought he must be dreaming. He blinked his eyes. He blinked them again, but it was not a dream. On the very spot where he had left the leather the night before, there was a pair of beautiful, well-made shoes, all finished. He called his wife into the shop and showed her the shoes. "They're splendid," she exclaimed. "But when did you make them?" "I didn't make them," the shoemaker replied. "I found them here this morning." The shoemaker put the shoes in the window, hoping that someone would buy them. Soon, the door swung open and a fine gentleman walked into the shop. "I must have these wonderful shoes," he said. "I've never seen any like them. The stitches are so small and delicate." The shoemaker sold the shoes to the gentleman, who paid a very high price for them. With the money, the shoemaker was able to buy enough leather to make 2 more pairs of shoes, and he had enough left over to buy a soup bone for dinner. That night, the shoemaker cut out the leather, but he was hungry and he could smell the soup his wife was cooking. "I'll make the shoes tomorrow," he said, and went to eat dinner. The next morning, he found 2 pairs of elegant shoes on his workbench. He showed them to his wife. "Who can be making these marvelous shoes?" she said. The shoemaker shook his head in wonder. Once again, the shoemaker placed the shoes in the window. He didn't have long to wait before the door to the shop swung open. This time, there were 2 customers, and they both paid handsomely for the fine shoes. Now the shoemaker had enough money to buy leather for 4 more pairs of shoes. Things went on this way for some time. Every night, the shoemaker cut the leather and went to sleep. And every morning, he found more beautiful shoes on his workbench. The shoemaker and his wife were no longer poor. They sold so many pairs of shoes that little by little, they began to save some money. One evening, the shoemaker said to his wife, "It's nearly Christmas, and we still don't know who is sewing all these shoes for us. We cannot go another day without finding out who it is." So, together the shoemaker and his wife thought of a plan. Instead of going to sleep that night, they hid behind a curtain in the shop. At midnight, 2 tiny elves skipped through the door into the room. The shoemaker and his wife watched in amazement as the elves quickly began to stitch and sew. Soon, the bench was filled with handsome new shoes, but the moment their work was finished, the elves vanished. The shoemaker and his wife were astonished. They decided they must do something for the tiny creatures who had been so kind to them. "The elves were not wearing any coats or hats or shoes," said the wife. "Poor little things must get very cold at this time of year." So the shoemaker and his wife made 2 tiny suits of clothing for the elves. The next night, they laid the little clothes they had made on the table. Then they hid behind their curtain once again. Just at midnight, the elves came into the shop. When they saw the clothes, they were overjoyed. They hurried to try on their outfits and found that everything fitted them perfectly. In their brand new clothes, the elves danced around the room and sang a merry song. At last, the elves danced out the door of the shoemaker's shop, never to return again. The thoughtful shoemaker and his good wife had repaid kindness with kindness. They never wanted for anything and lived happily for the rest of their days. The end. You know, it's good to be kind to others because you never know how that kindness is going to be returned to you. So I hope that today you find a way to be kind to somebody else. But either way, I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day, maybe in the sunshine, like here in Melbourne, or maybe like with Jack and Grandma with some rain dribbling down your windows. You might make some potato people. You might do some spring cleaning or play with your pets. Whatever it is, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next time here at Reading Corner. Bye for now.